where that blue bus is at the moment. That is stop number 13. What you do is you walk up to the pedestrian crossing, cross the road, and wait at stop number 6 next to lovely Lily and Lotus, and we will take you back towards where we are heading now, which is going to be stop number 7. You want me to keep going, Captain?
Yeah, you keep going. I love that Aussie accent.
Okay, folks, so our next stop is going to be stop number 7, otherwise known as Vineyard Valley. So if you look straight ahead, you can see the lovely ridge that's right in front of us. And on the right-hand side, we've got the Anzac Bay coming up as well, which stands for Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. The reason I'm mentioning those two places is because of the magical combination of the beautiful sea currents that come in and the ridge with the temperature going up 1 to 2 degrees higher is why we've got so many vineyards at Vineyard Valley stop number 7. So you're going to have Stony Ridge, second oldest vineyard on the island, Timutu, Soho and Wild Estate. Now, because it is a public holiday, folks, Wild Estate is unfortunately closed today, so no shooting, archery and drinking alcohol. But if you go 10-minute walk up the driveway, you've got the second oldest vineyard on the island, Stony Ridge. Excellent views, well known for its food. It's where the rich and famous like to helicopter in as well. So if you want to drink wine where Quentin Tarantino's been, Taylor Swift or Rod Stewart, then you might want to go to Stony Ridge. Very close to Stony Ridge is Timutu, and we'll see if they've got their sign up yet. Otherwise you've got Soho. Soho is probably the youngest vineyard in that area, very well known for its Asian fusion food, and they're all within walking distance of one another. So stop number 7, folks, Vineyard Valley. Don't worry, we will be stopping here. This is usually when the bus starts to empty out. Stop number 7. Just got a few bike riders slowing us down there. They're also the reason why we get you guys to wear your seatbelts at the nose braking seats, because they tend to do silly things in front of the bus. Here we go, folks. Stop number 7, Vineyard Valley. Now, as I said, hey, our next stop is going to be stop number 8. Now, I will point out a couple of things at stop number 8, especially on the way. So do have a look on the left-hand side. You're going to see Tantalus. Not sure if Tantalus is open today, but I'm going to point it out anyway, just in case they are.
Both closed.
They're closed. Is Alibi closed as well?
Yep.
Yep, I don't think they're going to be open today. Alright, that's okay. Let's start talking about stop number 8. Postage stamp is definitely open. I can see they've got their signs out. And the Heke would be open as well. So if you're into your whiskey, gin and vodka, and saying hello to a sculpture of a scorpion named Tracy, then the Heke will be the place for you. They're just... So I will point out the Heke because we're about to go past them. Now I mentioned postage stamp before. That's a lovely little vineyard. And of course on the left hand side, that's the Heke right there. Actually got a hospitality award in 2024. Very well known for their whiskey, gin and vodka. Also for their food. They do have a trampoline as well. Apparently you've got to be under 12 to use it though. Adults got banned after someone jumped on it with high heels. But that's enough about that. Let's start talking about our next stop. Stop number... No. But enough about the bike riders. Let's start talking about what is at Oneroa Beach. Oneroa Beach has the excellent family pub restaurant, very laid back, Charlie Farley's. They will probably be open quite late today as well. You could probably even go in there with bare feet. They also have a kiosk if you want to get yourself some ice cream or some fish and chips. Or if you want to drink cocktails and look out onto Oneroa Beach, that's an excellent place to go to. Next door to that is 372, top 40 restaurants for New Zealand in Metro magazine,
Wow.
2024, top 100 restaurants in the world, always winning awards. The locals absolutely love 372. In fact, if the chef goes anywhere else, everyone follows where she goes. The best ginger ale you'll ever taste in your life. Does vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, seafood and meat dishes as well. Now, I'm not sure if Kimaha is open, but they are on the corner. They do a 4-course meal, so you'll need to give up a firstborn child and 2 wallets if you do want to go to Kimaha. Otherwise, around the corner, you've got the beach shop. I'm not sure if they're open today either. They do fish and chips though. So you've got quite a few choices. And of course you've got the beautiful Oneroa Beach. Absolutely gorgeous. This is also on the maps when we go from an orange line and we're changing to a blue line. And all that means is that we're going to start doing the loop back to the ferry. But where we drop you off is where we will pick you up from. And there's going to be a bus every 20 minutes. Okay folks? And here you are, Oneroa Beach. Have a lovely time. It's been quite busy today. I can see Charlie Farley's is definitely busy. It will probably be busy there all day. Wasn't too bad? Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, there's
Oh my word.
pretty hard working there. Okay folks, so you can see the beautiful Oneroa Beach right there. It is indeed the longest beach on the island, and you can definitely see why it is the longest beach on the island. They've actually had races along here. They've had horse racing, seen photographs of tractor racing. They've had the Ironman and Ironwomen's competition, and they've had beach volleyball as well. And you can tell why they've had so many of those activities, because it is indeed quite a long beach.
Kimaha is open.
Kimaha is open. Okay folks, so if you did want to give up a firstborn child and 2 wallets, there you go. There's Kimaha right there on the left hand side. And what I am also going to do is I'm going to point out the public bus stop. The reason I'm doing that is because after 6 o'clock tonight, some of you might want to come back down here. So there it is, left hand side. See where the blue bus is.
Oh, the driving is awesome today.
Okay. Alright. So our next stop is basically stop number 10. This is when we start doing the loop back towards the ferry, except for that weird little branch off at stop number 12. I'm not going to talk about that at the moment, because our next stop is going to be stop number 10. So we're basically heading back towards the Waiheke postage stamp, and that is probably all that's open in that area today. It is a public holiday, so quite a few places will be closed, but quite a few places will indeed be open. One of them is definitely going to be the Waiheke, known for its whiskey, gin, vodka, its food.
And beer.
What's that?
And beer.
And beer, yeah.
Got their own brewery.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, and someone was just talking about the southern chicken before as well. They were very excited about that, so might want to go and check that out as well. Very close to the Waiheke, if you want to experience the vineyard, is the lovely postage stamp. Now it's a combination of 2 vineyards that did join forces, one of them being Obsidian. They're very well known for their lovely summery wines. And I was talking before about a waka, which is the Maori word for canoe. So if you wanted to know what a waka looks like, which is a canoe, the Maori word for canoe, yep. they have them at postage stamp. There is one there. That is from a 200-year-old tree that fell down, a kari tree. And they actually got a local artist to come in and do carving out of that. So you might want to check that out. So if you have a look on the right hand side, that is where the Heke is that we just went past. And of course, we're coming up to postage stamp that is straight there as well. Okay, stop number 10, folks. So if you are coming back to stop number 10, please make sure you look out for the hop on and hop off sign. Think blue and orange. If you're standing at a bus stop in this area and you don't see that sign, alright, our next stop, of course, is the one I call the 7-Eleven stop. Basically because we're coming up to stop number 11 and it's straight across the road from stop number 7, and it is Vineyard Valley. So you've got Soho and Stony Ridge that is open today. Both lovely vineyards to go to. Stony Ridge is probably the more highbrow of the two to do. Now it does take us between about 10 to 8 minutes to get there. And one of the reasons for that is because we are starting to head to one of the highest points on the island. Now, if you are going to do the 45-minute Cascade Waterfall Walk, it is a beautiful way of seeing the forest area of New Zealand. Heads up though, 200 steps to go down, which means 200 steps to go back up. And yes, your gluteus maximus will indeed feel it. Might be a good way though to maybe do the walk and then afterwards go to the batch. Batch, of course, is the Kiwi word for holiday home. There was actually a little batch there, but it's now a lovely vineyard. Well known for its sparkling wines, its pavlova, excellent food, and Morgan and I might disagree over who invented the pavlova. He claims the Kiwis, I claim the Aussies did. Either way though, it is a very, very delicious dessert to have. So you can see Anzac Bay there on the right hand side, which stands for the Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. And of course on the left hand side, you've got Rangi Hoa there. That is where the Maori tribe did live on the top there. They had the iwi there. Iwi is the Maori word for tribe. So it was a bit of a pa, which is a lookout. So they would have been able to see that invading tribe that did start to come over about 200 years ago. You can see everything is kind of connected to one another. And of course we are going past our demolition derby track, which looks like we've spent a huge amount of money on. Very happening about twice a month. It's usually every second Sunday they have the demolition derby track happening. But enough about that. We have just turned up to Whakaniwha Regional Park, and it probably doesn't help with my Aussie accent. It sounds like I'm swearing at you guys, but I'm not, I promise. It's the Toreo pronunciation. The WH obviously has a bit of a F sound, and as harsh as it sounds, it actually means, the translation is shading your eyes from the setting sun. And when we get up to stop number 12, you'll understand why it's got that name. This is actually quite a young park. It's only about 40 years old, or 45 years old. So a lot of the manuka and kanuka that you can see here, and the silver fern, and the northern palm that was planted here, this was mostly done by volunteers. So it all started off as little seedlings, and 40 years later, look at it now. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's hard to imagine that this area actually used to be mostly sheep farming land. So that was probably the second industry that was on Waiheke Island. That stopped in about the 1980s. It was costing the farmers that lived here a little bit too much for the sheep to be ferried back to the northern island and back here. So, due to a...
We don't know which.
This is a great view up here.
That's what I thought. It's doing its GoPro. Very cool.
Anyone for 13 getting off at 13? I don't believe so. Okay. Is Goldie open or not? No, Goldie's is not open today. Okay, so we'll go all the way to 15. Hang on, can you please put your seatbelt on?
Oh, sure.
Because they're the nose braking seats, so
Okay,
definitely
okay.
need seatbelts on ASAP, please.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
and yeah.
So sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Drop you off at
Bad.
Oneroa Village. Okay.
4, 3, 4, like
Okay, and where are you guys heading to next?
Go back to the ship. No, ferry.
boat.
Okay, no problem. Okay. All good? That's just one of those ones.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing.
That's all right. No, just those ones I'm worried about.
Yeah, that's like a flying through the window. Flat.
It's a good view up here.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
I wanted to ride up here.
You're catching on to my...
Okay, Captain Morgan, we don't have anyone for 13.
So let's hope there's
Copy
no
that,
one
thank you.
standing there.
You're welcome.
Let's hope there's no one waiting.
Okay folks, so as I was saying before, we are going through this beautiful regional park at the moment, which does have the name Whakaniwha, meaning shading your eyes from the setting sun. There is a lot of manuka and kanuka planted here. A lot of it was flowering probably about 2 months ago, where it flowers between 6 to 13 weeks. One of the reasons why manuka honey is so incredibly expensive. The kanuka was flowering as well, and that is what we use for our tea tree oil as well. And we're also going past our beautiful silver fern. Now if there's a full moon, the silver fern, the leaves underneath go a beautiful silvery colour, and that's how the silver fern got its name. It's also one of the things for those of you that are into rugby that the All Blacks wear on their jersey. You'll probably notice the silver fern on quite a few Kiwiana items as well, along with the kiwi bird, which unfortunately is not on Waiheke Island, but it's what we would kind of make jokes about, looks a bit like its brother, is on the island, and that is a weka. So if you see something that looks like a kiwi bird on the island, it is most likely a weka, and they've got shorter beaks, plus they're out in the daytime. Kiwi birds will not come out in the night time, they're actually quite shy creatures. So our next stop is going to be stop number 13, but we'll probably just cruise on by there, unless we need to pick anyone up. We are trying to make up for a bit of lost time at the moment. Now if you're wondering what that monstrosity is straight ahead of you, that is the quarry. It's actually the other side of the ridge, which I call Two-Face. He looks very handsome when you're coming over to go towards Vineyard Valley, but when we're going back to stop number 13, he's not looking as handsome. That is because Auckland Council owns him and has been using him for the footpaths you can see on the left hand side there. Also uses him for private driveways and used to use them for the road, which is probably why we've got so many potholes on the road as well. Now apparently Stony Ridge and the vineyards within the area of Happy Valley or Vineyard Valley actually took Auckland Council to court over it. They took them to Auckland Council to Environmental Court, and the outcome there is that they are destructive into him in late 2025, early 2026, because if he disappears, it's going to affect the vineyards in that area. And I know what I'd rather. I would rather have lots of vineyards than a bit of an ugly quarry, that's for sure. Okay folks, stop number 13 in Austin. We are going to go past Ostend. We're about to go past our recycling centre as well, which is on the right hand side there. We try and recycle as much as we possibly can on the island. Anything we can sell. We take to that lovely op shop around the corner. Anything we can't recycle, we basically send back to Auckland City. There did used to be landfill here, which is where the skate park and the basketball court is now. But apparently the landfill, with what they were putting into the earth there, was starting to leak into the fresh water underneath the island. Never a good idea to pollute your fresh water. So they stopped doing that, thankfully. We are coming up to stop number 13 in Ostend, down Belgium Street. That looks like a local there. So we're going to cruise on by. You can see the RSA there, which also has a poppy. Poppy is very important for Anzac Day, which is on the 25th of April. It's when Australia and New Zealand remembers its fallen soldiers. So you'll probably see them at a few RSAs throughout New Zealand. The RSA stands for the Returning Men and Women's Services Association. And they were set up in the First World War. And they are for those that have been fighting in wars from then to now. And of course we are going down Belgium Street as well. Okay folks, we're now going to be heading towards stop number 14, which is going to be Goldie Estate. Goldie Estate has been pretty much shut all day. I'll be very surprised if they're open. We're also about to go past our rugby league field, and if you're lucky you might see the ducks doing their practice of rugby. Oh no, no ducks. Oh well, there's the rugby league field. And if you see the sculpture of the dolphins, that is for the netball team. And the rams is for the rugby league field. We're about to go over to Tiki Bay. That's high tide at the moment, so it's looking very beautiful. You can even see on the left hand side the yellow submarine there, and Captain Jack Sparrow pirate as well. Or pirate ship I should say. Going over our mangroves, which stops any flash flooding in this area thankfully. And we're coming up to stop number 14, Goldie Estate, but we'll only probably pull over if we've got lots of cars stuck behind us. Goldie Estate is the oldest vineyard on the island. It's also where you can go to study on how to make wine as well, but they are not open today. You've got a place where lots of uni students live and work at. They're not likely to be open on a public holiday. They were just going past our $1 million roundabout, and also on the left hand side past Kennedy Point. This is where the car ferry also comes down as well. So you might see a red ship later on when we are going through Surfdale. That is where the car ferry comes in. It looks like the car ferry just arrived actually. If there is lots of cars in this area, usually means the car ferry arrived. It's also where we get our petrol, our food, and all our goods and services. They all come over on the car ferry. We also have the most expensive petrol in the whole of New Zealand, and also one of the most expensive supermarkets in the whole of New Zealand as well. Okay folks, we are now going through the suburb of Surfdale. You'll probably also notice a lot of water tanks in this area, especially now that I've mentioned it. About 90% of us actually access our water through the water tanks, so there's probably a few locals hoping that we'll get some rain pretty soon. Can be a bit of a dry season and we can get a bit stinky around this time of the year. Otherwise, it's about a 6-week wait for the water tank guys to come and fill up our water tanks, and can cost us for half a tank of water between $400 and $800. So it can get a bit expensive as well.
Water-wise, is the...
Those who own most of the helicopter pads on the island, though, there is about, I believe, about 36 to 38 helicopter pads on the island, and most of them are privately owned. Also get to access the water that is underneath the island, and they don't need to have water tanks on their property because they can afford for the fancy lawyers to go through all the paperwork and also the equipment that you will need to access that beautiful fresh water that is underneath the island as well. They're also the ones that have their own private helicopter pads. Okay folks, about to go past Surfdale. If you have a look on the left hand side, there is Surfdale Beach there, looking pretty flat. It does look like high tide at the moment. And we are just about to go past our Lawn Bowls Club. That's been there since about the 1920s. We are heading towards stop number 15. Stop number 15 is going to be back at Oneroa Village. Quite a few things to do at Oneroa Village. You've got the shops there. If you want to get some Kiwiana items, art galleries, some of them will be open today, and a lot of them are run by local artists that have gathered together to cover the costs of the rentals in Oneroa and showcase their beautiful work. If you go to the upcycle shop, they have a lot of the items that they usually sell at the Saturday artist market. Otherwise, you've got lots of cafes that will still be open till between 3 and 4 o'clock, and the restaurants and the bars that will be open round about now until probably between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also a good place to go to for when the vineyards do start closing between 4 and 5. So on the right hand side there, you've got Little Oneroa Beach. You've also got a little fish and chip shop there, Dragon Fried Pizza as well. So you might want to have a little walk and go to there from stop number 15. There is a couple of paths that will take you down there on the right hand side there, folks. And of course, at stop number 15, close by, you've got the Oyster Inn, Benici's, the Italian restaurant, Red Crab if you're into your Thai food. Between Foursquare and Waiheke Wine Cellar, you've got the local fish and chip shop. Looks out onto Oneroa Beach, does cocktails as well. And if you show them your Explorer ticket, you'll get a 10% discount. Otherwise, you've got the excellent Vino Argentinian restaurant, and the lovely chef who works there also owns the restaurant, works incredibly hard. And there's quite a few other cafes here as well, and places to get ice cream. And if you go across the road, footpath. I did hear a and then it kind of died off. Okay folks, our next stop is going to be down at the Ferry. Now for those of you that want to go to Mudbrick or Cable Bay, you are going to have to hop off this bus and wait 20 minutes for the next bus, and that bus will do the loop around, okay?
Go ahead, yeah.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying I wish we would always have a big F in my head because
We'll do a little talk pretty soon. Do have a look on the right hand side though, if you want to wave goodbye to beautiful Oneroa Beach.
If I'm
Or have a
sitting
quick
in my
look at the
chair,
Coromandel. Oh, you can hardly see the Coromandel. Oh no, I can just see the outline of the Coromandel there. Okay,
so
folks,
many,
our
just
next
don't
stop, as I was saying, is going to be back down to the ferry. So do make sure you've got your ferry tickets with you. Make sure you got your wallets, your phones, your sunglasses, backpacks, hats. Make sure you got your loved ones with you as well. Don't want to leave them behind. And we do hope you've had a lovely time on Waiheke Island for our lovely public holiday. Okay. Captain Morgan has been your fantastic bus driver while you've been on this bus. I have been your host Tony while you've been on this bus. And again, we hope you've had a lovely day.
Yes.
The weather has held off, so that's always a good start on Waiheke Island, otherwise known as the Island of Wine, which actually means cascading borders. Safe travels back over to Auckland City or wherever else you might be visiting during your time in New Zealand, otherwise known as Oturua, land of the long white clouds. And if you are heading back overseas, and especially if you're flying, may your jet lag be non-existent.
It's still happening now.
Now when we do get down to the ferry, folks, try not to rush too much. You don't want to sprain your ankle or hurt yourselves trying to get onto that ferry. Won't be worth it. Worst case scenario, you might be waiting there for a little while. Just have a cup of coffee and maybe say hello to Stephen the Stingray. Might even be able to hear the little penguins down there as well. They will be hiding pretty far though underneath the ferry terminal. Now while the bus ahead of us is taking his time, I'll just quickly point out on the left hand side you can see all these beautiful native trees that have been planted there. They were all done by one guy. He was a lecturer. He passed away about 4 to 5 years ago, but he used to ride up and down those mountains with a bike that looked like it was ready to fall apart, and he planted all those native trees you can see when they were seedlings. Isn't it amazing what one guy can do? It used to be just plain green hills that used to have sheep on it before that, and because he brought all the native trees back, he of course brought all the native birds back as well. Okay folks, I can see the ferry there. Not sure if they're still loading or not, but if you are trying to get it, do be careful rushing to it, and be very careful coming down the stairs. You don't want to hit your head on the overpass there, folks. Okay, have a lovely time guys, and we'll see you next time.